Всем привет, с вами Даша, и мы продолжаем играть в Вампира. И мы продолжаем уже сюжет, и скорее всего он уже скоро закончится, мне кажется. Я там по интернету посмотрела, да, сколько примерно осталось, там уже скоро, наверное, уже и финал. Примерно 2 серии, наверное, будет. Наша задача собрать ингредиенты, и у нас появились люди, которые заболели. 5, надо 5 переутомлений и 1 простуда. Так, это у нас район. Угу. Тот район, который фиг найдешь. Ну, пошлите.
Good evening. How do you feel, Mr. Petrescu? Do you need...
I would not even accept fresh water from you.
Yes.
I said I don't want it.
Goodbye. How are you?
I'm not your...
Do you need assistance?
Please.
There you...
Very fun.
Goodbye. Good evening, Harry.
Sure. Is there only pain and suffering in this?
So,
I'm not bothered.
do you need any medical help, young man?
Yes, I do. I feel so tired. I don't know if it's the epidemic, but everything seems so hard.
You'll feel better with this. But you need to get a grip, young man. Medication alone won't cure melancholia.
I'm not sure I'm happy with the idea of living long in a world like this. But I thank you for your concern, sir.
Goodbye, young. Good evening.
It's for
Don't you...
faith.
No doubt.
Less.
I have heard...
Good evening, Doctor. Can I...
Do you need a...
That would be nice of...
If...
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Revive you?
Good evening.
Change
Do you need...
it.
I...
Forgive.
Goodbye.
Итак, мы вылечили всех, кого могли в этом районе. Теперь давайте попробуем получить кровь у Редгрейва. Итак, мы в особняке, в клубе. Начинаем. Давайте тогда какое-нибудь расследование выполним, чтобы получить опыт и перейти на другой уровень. И тогда мы уже в конце концов получим эту кровь.
Giselle's stolen money. Everyone has some unethical ways of financing their war.
Небольшое расследование получилось. Но мы ей отдадим деньги. Мне нам особо так не нужны. Осталось только ее найти. Возможно, что нам еще надо будет выполнить какое-нибудь расследование, чтобы получить еще немного опыта. И тогда уже идти по сюжету.
You again? What do you want?
I've identified the men who stole from you. You were right. They were members of some self-proclaimed militia.
I knew it! Did you find the money too?
Yes, here it is. They thought they could finance their activities with it.
I never thought a man like you would be kind enough to... I misjudged you. Badly. Well, thank you, sir.
Will you give the money back to your comrades, then?
Fuck those bastards who fired me. I'll give the money to Miss Gillingham. Her son Jack was a friend of mine. He was killed recently.
Well, I'll leave you for now. Goodbye, Miss Paxton.
Нужно поговорить еще с Шоном.
Welcome back to my humble shelter, Dr. Reed. Are you here to subdue me again?
No, Sean. I just came by to see how you are.
I feel all right. Why'd you ask?
Are you still feeding on corpses?
No. It's almost as though the blood you forced me to drink has provided me eternal satisfaction.
Would you let me listen to your chest, Sean?
No, Dr. Reed. You already forced me to drink your blood, and I thank you for that, for I feel better now. But it was quite an unpleasant experience.
It would help me greatly if you would allow me to give you a physical examination.
I said no. I'm no subject of medical examination, and I intend only to obey and to kneel before God.
Have you seen Harriet Jones since taking her to Old Bridget?
No. She is with the sewer Scals now. I don't go downstairs.
What happened at the Pembroke?
I guess we recognized each other. As Scals, I mean. She had but one thought. To punish. To get revenge upon everything and everyone. I realized I had to bring her here quickly.
But why did she fake her own death? There was so much blood in her room. She attacked patients, too.
I just lost her for a minute that night. When I found her, she had caused mayhem across the hospital. I slapped some sense into her, and we fled before getting caught.
What happened then?
We ran here through narrow streets and backyards. She kept saying that someone was talking to her in the dark, offering to avenge her. But I saw nobody.
How did you meet Old Bridget?
When younger, I used to patrol the streets at night, searching for lost souls. This is how I met her. It took me 2 months just to get her name. Now we support each other.
Had you already visited their hideout in the sewers?
Just once, and very briefly. Most of them are very discreet, and they see me as an outsider, even if I protect them.
You really are a saint, Sean.
Oh, no, sir, I'm not. But I know evil, and I believe goodwill and tenacity can make this world a better place.
How is the sanitary situation in this part of town?
I think it's acceptable. Fewer cases of sickness recently. I thank the Lord for his mercy.
How are things in your shelter? Between the mortals and the immortals, I mean.
Even if we're all children of God, I've always maintained a strict frontier between the two communities.
What do you fear?
A few years ago, a Skal decided to pay a nocturnal visit to my sleeping customers. He got caught licking their necks in the dark. Since then, I have added a lock to the door.
What if food became scarce? Wouldn't the immortals in your flock be tempted to feed on the living? Wouldn't you?
The Skals can feed on the dead, Doctor. And until Judgment Day, mortals will continue dying.
Farewell, Sean. Take good care of your flock and of yourself.
The bottle will soon be empty.
Ну да, придется еще какое-то расследование сделать, чтобы повысить уровень. Мы можем тогда даже 2 сделать расследование, а не тут в одном месте.
This is a slaughterhouse. It's locked, all right.
Окровавленное колье.
From Seymour to my beloved mother, Stella. What is this doing here? Who are these people?
Какое-то новое расследование у нас тут произошло. Правда, это неизвестные люди, и придется с ними разговаривать. Но это близко. Можно их найти заодно
Hypocrites, all of them.
и
Maggots and-
поговорить.
Good
И
evening,
заодно
sir.
и
Good
опыт
evening.
получить.
Why must it always be a good evening?
I was just being polite. I'm Dr. Reed. I'd like to ask you some questions, if I may.
Don't like questions or doctors. And the name is Seymour Fishburne, if you must know.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
A shithole filled with maggots. Liars and thieves, all of them.
Are you thinking about someone in particular?
Nope. Hate them all. Especially these petty, whining little shitbag beggars.
Is there no one who deserves your leniency then?
Well, Tom from our local is somewhat of a decent bloke. At least, unlike most maggots, he knows how to listen without opening his trap.
What's your occupation?
I take care of my mum. That's what I do. She's the only good thing in my life. Even though I don't treat her so good.
You seem upset. Is something bothering you?
I lost the necklace I bought her. I'm a fucking idiot. A worthless idiot.
Sometimes it's hard to be a good son.
I just want her to smile. No, I was thankful for her patience, appreciated like... God knows she deserves it.
Have you heard anything recently about Sean Hampton's shelter?
I don't give a rat's ass about Sean Hampton, his shelter, or any of the losers who sleep there.
Goodbye, Mr. Fishburne.
Давайте другого еще найдем. А это, видимо, он и есть, да?
Hello, boy.
Hello. Good evening.
Did I scare you? You have nothing to fear from me.
No, it's just that people prefer to avoid me.
Well, I won't. I'm a doctor.
My name is Rufus, sir. Rufus Kingsbury.
Нет, это какой-то другой.
What can you tell me about this region?
It's all about staying out of trouble. But since most people prefer to avoid me, it's pretty easy.
Why do people avoid you?
They call me Rufus the Curse. Around here, I'm a bit of a bad luck charm.
Have you ever thought about leaving?
Where else would I go? At least I know these streets and some people around here. This is my city, for better or worse.
What do you do around here, Rufus?
I listen to the news on the docks, sir. And I smile at those kind enough to spare me a bob.
Do you have a job?
It's hard to work, what with my head and all. Since I was a boy, I've always had trouble remembering what I do and why I do it.
What do people say about this place?
Things have been tense between the wet boot boys and the communists. They both feel they should run the docks.
Heard anything about Sean Hampton's shelter lately?
I heard that Mr. Hampton has been very sick, but now he's better.
Are you worried about the sanitary situation?
I never really felt safe in this town anyway. Now's the first time that everyone seems to feel the same way as me.
Is anything worrying you right now?
Gunshots? I hear them every night. Who's firing? Who are they shooting at? That's what's scary.
Are you alone? Where is your family?
I don't have any. My parents are dead.
So you have no home? You're sleeping rough.
No. I mean, yes. I live on the streets. I have no home.
You should be careful, Rufus. There are things that lurk in the shadows of this city. Things that prey on the lonely and the desperate.
Well, I've known worse. I'm not all alone. I have Mrs. Fishburne. She's been very kind to me.
Why do you think she's so considerate?
I can't say, sir. I guess she's a good soul. Sometimes it's like she replaces the mother I lost, even if we're not related.
So long, Rufus. Be careful. Take care.
И нам надо найти еще Стеллу. Но я, скорее всего, Сеймуру отдам. Так, я нашла, наверное, проход к... ну, на мост. Там кто-то есть, но вопрос, как туда попасть.
More Braille. I should bring this to Mason Swanborough.
Текст по Брайлю. Ну, мы знаем, куда его отнести.
Not a safe place right now, sir. I said stay away, sir.
И как его спасти? Не здесь. Ну, видимо, что да.
Are you all right, sir? What are you doing in a place like this?
I'm not sure that's any of your business.
I hope you realize that staying here will put your life at great risk.
Pah! I'm not afraid of these guards of Priwen, or whatever these thugs call themselves. I can still kick some respect into those youngsters.
I wasn't specifically referring to them, but Are you really after these men? Why?
They took my boy! I've had no news since he joined that crazy gang. So I decided to come and find him myself, to get some answers.
I see. But as I said, your life is at risk if you stay here. And I'm not referring to the gangs either. You should leave, sir.
Well, this part of town used to be nicer, let's say. Perhaps you're right. This isn't the best way to save Andrew.
И все? И все расследование? Вы серьезно? Ну да. Но я же не могу пропустить целый дом. Окровавленное письмо.
There is a name engraved under the blood on the back of the case. Jack Gillingham. Perhaps Enid's son.
Еще одно новое расследование. Ну да, вот оно. В принципе, там только отдать кому-нибудь. И все. Потом, в принципе, можно заодно и туда зайти. Ладно, давайте не будем заморачиваться. И просто отдадим ожерелье Сеймуру.
Hypocrites, all of them.
Good evening, Mr.
Yeah.
I have retrieved the gift for your mother, sir.
Great. Give it here then and take this for your trouble.
I also found the corpses. The ones under which you left the necklace, Mr. Fishburne.
Ah, so that's where I left it. I can be a bit stupid sometimes.
As a man of science, I'd like to try to understand why you killed those people.
Why does there need to be a reason? They were just there. It happened. That's all.
You're not a mindless animal, Seymour. Surely you have something to say about these murders. Speak up and I will listen without judgment.
Could be right, Dr. Reed. Maybe it'll do some good to confide in a gentleman like you. You being educated and all.
Tell me about your victims, Seymour. Who were they? Why them? Was there a link?
Why should there be? They just kept getting on my nerves at the worst times, that's all.
How many? How many victims?
It's not like I keep records. It happens when it happens.
You feel nothing, do you? No empathy for your victims at all?
You seem pretty calm yourself, don't you?
We're not talking about me.
That right? Well, our calm's the only thing we have in common then.
Did you take pleasure in killing them, Seymour? All those people, all those lives extinguished.
I take no pleasure from it. Just gives me peace. Stills the anger. For a time.
This rage you feel, have you ever been able to control it? Resist it?
I tried. For my mum, I tried for her. Telling the truth made me feel better. For a while.
Don't you think you should seek help? Talk to someone you trust, someone who cares about you.
No. And don't dare speak about me to your colleagues either. Keep your mouth shut tight. Especially about my mum.
Why is your mother protecting you, Seymour?
I'm her son. She's the only one who knows me. Sometimes I think she knows me better than I know myself.
I understand you love her, but can't you see the awful situation you've put her in?
Do you think my mum would have a better life if I were dead? She seems so sad to know me sometimes.
I don't believe death is the appropriate sentence for murder, not in a civilized society. But the last word has to remain with the law.
There is no law around here. No justice to be found. In these parts, revenge is the only answer.
Goodbye, Mr. Fishburne.
Ну ладно. Не особо мне и хотелось в этом всем разбираться. Но это тогда будет уже на обратном пути. А сначала вот эти вот расследования. Я как раз нашла вход на мост, как подняться на него. Итак, мы прошли мост. И теперь нам надо найти, где вот это вот все произошло. Так, мы можем на корабль телепортироваться. Просто чтобы собрать ящик. Серьезно. Мы-то тут с начала игры еще не были.
It's locked.
И когда мы убегали, мы вроде как ничего такого не собирали особо. О, убежище. Но мы пока не будем сохраняться. Еще одно убежище. А нет, это самое первое убежище, получается.
This place looks like the picture I saw of the bomb site.
Так там что-то сверкает. Букет. Для чего он?
Yes. The place has changed since the explosion, but it was definitely here. May all who suffered from this tragedy find or rest in peace.
А типа поставить цветы. Так, с этим просто поговорить. И тут недалеко и это задание должно быть. Но мы их быстро убиваем, к счастью.
This place. Rain may have washed away the blood, but not the memory. My poor Mary.
Записка с предупреждением.
This is my watch. Damn grave robbers.
Ну, наверное, стоит сказать. Тут, получается, уже все закончено. Ну, с этой частью города.
Good evening, Miss Cox.
Hello.
I managed to reach the mass grave in Southwark. It was not pleasant.
Spare me the details, Dr. Reed. All I want to know is what happened to those bastards who owed me money.
I'm afraid those bastards, as you call them, are in the mass grave.
Dead? Shit. That money would have been useful. Well, I'll tell my boys to avoid the place if it's that dangerous.
Yes. Everybody should avoid that place until further notice.
Okay then, Doctor. It looks like you deserve your reward after all. The Wet Boot Boys thank you for your help.
Goodbye, Miss Cox.
Так, давайте сообщим вот этому вот человеку, где он. Ну, тоже где-то тут недалеко.
Good evening, Mr. Delaney.
What?
I found the location of the explosion, Mr. Delaney. I placed a flower for you where it happened, just as you asked.
Really? That's so kind. I never thought someone would... Well, thank you, Doctor.
It's nothing, really. And I'm sorry for your loss.
What? No, I didn't know them. No car was supposed to park there that day. Stupid bastard, why did he park there?
You're the man who hid that bomb.
I don't want to talk about it. Leave me alone.
I want you to remember the bomb, Dyson. Tell me about it.
No, I don't want to remember it.
Why use a bomb? What were you trying to destroy?
The Dawson & Dawson ammunitions factory. A symbol of violence against the people. My group wanted to destroy it to send a message.
The victims. They were not the target then.
I spent so much time figuring out the perfect moment. I used a short fuse. No car had ever parked there. They all died.
I sense your guilt, Dyson. Why is that? Did you not think violence was an acceptable political tool?
I still believe our fight was just. By killing an innocent couple who were just at the wrong place at the wrong time. No way.
You made a mistake. A terrible mistake. Maybe an unforgivable one. But that does not mean that you are a monster.
I swear I did not want to kill anyone. I did not hide in the shadow to kill on purpose. That's my only defense.
Goodbye, Mr. Delaney.
Так. И последнее расследование. Ну, продавать я явно никому не буду. Эти часы я верну обратно их. Значит, если ему, значит, продать, да. А если ей, то отдать.
Good evening, Miss.
Of course. So, Dr. Tip...
I found this watch. It was a gift from you to your boy, wasn't it? I think it should return to you now.
Oh, I remember. Yes, I recall the day I offered Jack this watch. Oh, it was such a beautiful day. Thank you, sir.
Trinkets and possessions help us remember our past. Promise me you'll not lose it.
I would never lose anything that belonged to Jack. Why don't you take this? Dr. Tippets? Please, for your charity.
Goodbye, Miss Gilligan.
Так, я, скорее всего, сейчас поближе Вест-Энд переберусь. Сходим в убежище. Я там повышу уровень. И уже пойдем по сюжету. Итак, мы тут. Можно переработать. Можно оставить часы, но... Ну пусть будут, они все равно не дают то, чего мне надо. Давайте сохраним, повысим уровень. Повысить, к сожалению, у нас не получилось. Давайте тогда раздадим и другие лекарства и пойдем тогда уже по сюжету.
Good evening, Miss Price. I'm Dr. Reed. Do you remember me?
Dr. Reed? Yes, of course. You are the doctor who healed me and my mum. Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Good to see you too, Carol. Are you all right?
Oh, yes. I did not hurt myself recently. I know how to take care of myself now. I'm almost a grown-up.
Итак, тот персонаж, который последний, которого мы не знали в этом районе.
Why are you awake at night, Carol?
I am helping my mother in her shop. It's not easy, but I'm a grown-up now.
I'm sure your mother is grateful for your help.
I do the best I can. But I'm so clumsy sometimes. I drop things. I injure myself. It's a good thing my mother has the patience of an angel.
Why is work not easy? Is something or someone bothering you?
Oh no, most people are gentle with me. But I'm so nervous sometimes. I pay no attention and hurt myself. Good thing my mum learned first aid.
What can you tell me of the people living nearby?
I don't speak to many people, except our customers. It's not easy to make friends. And with the epidemic, it's even more difficult.
What can you tell me about the epidemic?
Some of our regular customers have left London. Some others only send their housemaids now. Everybody fears the contagion. I've even seen men with weapons.
Have you no friends at all?
No. Mr. Nithercote used to pass by and was always nice to me.
Does he not come by anymore?
No. Mum said he was weird. Always reciting poetry about a girl he'd met in Whitechapel. I wonder who this Camellia may be.
I suspect you've heard what has happened to Aloysius Dawson.
No, what happened to him? I don't read newspapers. A mother always told me it's a bad thing to listen to gossip.
Do you enjoy working with your mother?
Oh yes, Doctor. My mother raised me alone after my father died. We've always lived together, and she has always watched over me.
Do you remember your father?
No, I was just a baby then. My mother always told me how strong and good he was.
Do you ever think about getting married now you're a woman?
Oh no, Dr. Reed. Mum always says I'm still a child who has no idea how tough life can be. No husband would like a clumsy girl like me.
Goodbye, Carol.
Так, с ней поговорили и получили опыт.
Again. What are the cards? Good evening.
Do you recall? You'll...
Thank you.
Goodbye.
I rarely wa-
Good evening.
You look in. Well,
Thank you.
good... Good evening, Xiao.
晚上好.
How do you feel? Physically speaking, I mean.
I don't feel good, Dr. Reed. Not at all.
You should recover quickly after taking this.
Thank you, Doctor.
Goodbye.
Наконец-то я нашла этого Ричарда.
Good evening, Mr. Nithercott.
And good evening to you too, my good sir. Can I be of any help?
Do you need medical attention, sir?
It may be wise to let you prescribe me something. I don't feel like I should.
I understand your appetite for words and macabre beauty, sir. But you should be more careful.
The nutrition of my mind is more important than my physical health. But I appreciate your concern, sir.
I'll leave you alone, sir.
Очень долго его искала. Он тут сидит на своем кладбище. Ну, стоит. И последний... Там просто недалеко от самого задания находится.
Rats.
Can I help you?
Yes.
I will...
Me.
I must go.
Итак, всех, кого мы могли, мы вылечили. Мне почему-то кажется, что это единственный вампир, который будет нам мешать. Если его убить, то мы в конце концов все же получим эту кровь. Надо пытаться. Наконец-то мы его убили. И где мы можем найти Редгрейва? А, вот он. И что это? Об употреблении крови в целях получения удовольствия. И зачем нам эта записка? Ну, давайте поговорим с ним.
Good evening, Lord Redgrave.
What are you doing here, traitor? I shall smite you for this audacity.
I'm not here to bicker, Lord Redgrave. I can put an end to this epidemic, but I need your assistance to do so.
Good. We've held out thus far, but the time has come to put an end to this crisis. Tell me, what do you need?
The blood of William Marshall.
The blood of William Marshall? Of my maker? Are you mad? This blood is the purest of all. My maker proffered it to me on the battlefield. I cannot hand it to you.
This is more important than the club, you, or me. This is London's last hope.
I see. Well, in that case, given the gravity of the situation, I suppose I can spare you a drop.
Thank you, my lord.
If you manage to save this city, you'll prove yourself a veritable servant of the crown. So Godspeed, Dr. Reed. Our fate lies wholly in your hands.
Ну, пошлите, наверное, к себе. Потому что мы же можем создавать все эти снадобья только у себя. Ну, то есть в убежище. Ближе всего убежище это убежище в нашем доме. Мы, возможно, даже сможем наконец-то повысить уровень, если остались навыки, которые за 900.
The blend seems stable. Time to go and find Harriet in the sewers.
Давайте повысим уровень. И тогда уже отправимся к ней. Смотрим хоть какого она уровня. Хоть где-то нет болезней. У них у всех переутомление, простуда, переутомление. Переутомление. Неизвестно. Переутомление. У всех либо переутомление, либо простуда. Значит, сохраняться нельзя, пока их не вылечишь, иначе их переутомление и простуда перейдет во вторую стадию, и там мне уже вряд ли хватит средств на то, чтобы их вылечить. Пошлите посмотрим, какого она уровня. Если мы все же сможем ее победить, то в этой серии мы ее победим и вылечим других людей. Если у нас не получится ее победить, то мы уже на этом серию закончим. Миф о рогатом вампире. Один из этих вампиров наш создатель, получается. Ну, потому что силуэт прям точь-в-точь. Мы отдаляемся почему-то. А теперь приближаемся. Кажется, здесь бой произойдет. Здесь уже бой вроде как происходил. Только с другим вампиром. Значит, немного в другом месте. Так, нам наверх надо. Мы уже близко.
This place has been ransacked. They've all been slaughtered. Pre-one? No, not their style. Where has Harriet gone? She must have left a trail I could follow.
По крови. Видимо, что да.
Where is old Bridget? Damn. If I'd come earlier, they would still be alive.
Неизвестно, где она делась. Возможно, умерла, а может, еще не дошла. Кажись, здесь сейчас бой начнется. Здравствуйте.
Take not a step further, child, for you are unprepared.
You, at last. I wondered when you would show your face again. Step away. We have nothing to discuss.
Desist, child. You cannot confront the monstrosity unleashed upon this land without due preparation. I shall not allow it.
All right. But no more riddles. Enough of the obscure songs and prophecies. I ask questions, and you answer them.
My words have been as clear as crystal lakes, my child. You seem unwilling to drink, to listen, to learn.
Why did you choose me?
Only you could provide a modern, scientific answer to this ancient, mystical thread.
What kind of modern answer?
Disease, contagion, and contamination. How they course through veins is your dominion, my child. Your choices have made you. Only you can save this land.
Speak to me of this ancient threat.
The blood of hate. Vessel of the wrath of the goddess. When she awakens, a disaster will be born into this world, for she is hunger and anger.
What is your true appearance?
I do not understand. This is who I am.
Blood? You are made of blood. Surely you are joking.
Why would I? And no, I'm not made of blood. I am blood. Blood is what I am since my birth and for eternity.
But who are you really? Tell me your name.
I am your maker. I am the servant of the Red Goddess and protector of this land. I have many names.
Just give me one, then.
There are those who call me Merdin Wild, the Wild Horned Man. But I never was a man. I was born out of blood.
I'm here to stop Harriet Jones. She is the original carrier. The well from which this corruption flows.
I have heard you, but be wary. Harriet Jones's mind is no more. She has metamorphosed into an apocalypse. Born from, drenched in and driven by the blood of hate.
What is the blood of hate?
It is the curse of the goddess. It is the hunger in you, the need for blood, the will to strike and to punish, to spit in the eye of God.
Tell me about this disaster, creature. I know London fell victim to such a thing in 1666.
A disaster is pure anger born through blood. Its name means bad star, for they only appear when our queen unleashes her unquenchable wrath upon the world.
And who is this queen?
She is the Red Goddess, the Queen of Blood. In my youth, 100 lifetimes ago, she was worshipped as the Morrigan. She is my mother. She is yours, too.
The Morrigan? The Celtic goddess of war? Is this a ruse of some kind?
She has been worshipped in many forms throughout the ages. The true nature of the Red Queen is beyond your comprehension, eluding even mine. But know this, she is a vengeful mother.
So the disaster is some sort of accident. A disease vampires carry dormant in their blood, waiting to emerge.
That's your modern answer. But a disaster is at the same time both less and more.
Tell me what it is then, in your own words.
A disaster is the pure will of our queen. Whenever she dreams of walking this earth, she awakes in this putrid vessel.
I only wish to know how to put an end to this epidemic.
To perform an act so noble, you must protect yourself from its poisonous kiss, my child.
I know. McCullum used such a serum when trying to kill me. However, I have produced a more efficacious version of the antidote.
Your final task awaits you at the end of these tunnels. I've known for ages you were worthy of this challenge, my champion, Bittersweet.
What will happen thereafter? What future awaits me beyond these dark tunnels?
Your fate, my child, and the fate of this land. A disaster is about to enter this world to smite us all and teach us humility. You are our final hope.
Will it be over then? Once I've defeated this creature?
Yes. The threat will dissipate like so much smoke, for you will have purified its source.
And then what? What will become of me?
How would I know? I am no god, and your fate is in your own hands. For you are our champion.
You tricked me. My sister died for your schemes. I have brought suffering and tragedy into this world. I am not, nor will I ever be your champion.
Very soon you'll come to know that sacrifice is sometimes necessary. I understand the grudge a child bears towards his father and mother. Be brave, my child.
Мне кажется, я с ней пока не справлюсь. Так, что здесь? Здесь сокращенный путь. Но попытаться можно, конечно, но...
These poor skulls didn't stand a chance. I have this thirst for blood.
Oh, I'm sick. So sick. Doctor, help me, please. I'm in such pain.
I'll be glad to be of assistance.
Ah, like your help, Doris. Liars! All of you! Oh, my poor baby. I've been such a bad mother. But the Queen herself forgave me. Gave me another chance.
Harriet, you must stop all of this. I can't let you infect anyone else.
How dare you interfere with the Red Queen's plans, Doctor? How can you stop the course of nature?
А, все, 35-й. Вроде как мы можем ее победить. Ай.
They took my daughter from me.
Так, из дробовика будет сложно стрелять. Но возможно.
I was a good mother.
Это все.
Is this a dream?
Оу.
Am I awake? Is this anger I feel?
Это вообще легкое. 30 уровень. Вы серьезно?
How intensely, how irredeemably are you all going to suffer now? Feed your mother, child.
Конечно, то, что у меня крови нет, это плохо. Блин. Ну нет. казалось бы, 30 уровень, а убить сложновато.
Feed your mother, child.
Тихо, тихо, тихо.
I will reap the land myself. The abundant, the young, so tasty.
Так. Есть что-нибудь теневое? Так, это тень, это поглощение. Больше теней нет. Может тут? Вот это вот. Блин, нету оружия.
Feed your mother, child.
Блин. Зажали.
Blood, feed me. Give me their lives.
Вроде хорошо сработало. Все равно задело. Тихо, тихо.
Blood, feed me. Give me their lives.
только еще чуть-чуть осталось, и будет супер способность.
Such innocence, such guilt.
Что? Не сработало? Серьезно? О, убили.
Do you think your champion defeated me, my giant?
No one could ever defeat you, mother of us all, for you are our every root and leaf.
You've always been my most amusing son.
Then go back to sleep, my queen, and smile at us from your dreams.
Did they feel my wrath? Have they suffered enough?
More than ever, mother of us all.
Until the next time.
Until the next time.
So it's over then, young Ekon. You have put an end to this terrible menace.
Old Bridget? What are you doing here?
This is my realm, Ekon. This is Suascal territory.
But they were all massacred by the monstrosity that Harriet became.
Others will come, engendered by deceitful vampires. I don't mean you, of course.
I thought you'd been slaughtered, with all the other Suascals.
I was up above, in search of help when Harriet suddenly turned into that thing. I have no idea what it was.
It's over now. London is no longer shrouded in the disaster's shadow. We're all safe.
Yes, you prevailed in the end. I hope you'll forgive me for the way I treated you when first you presented yourself at our gate.
No need to apologize, really.
Perhaps there will be no stories told or songs sung of what happened here today. But I'll know the truth. Jonathan Reed, newborn vampire, stepped forward and saved us all.
I'm honored to be part of this city's legend. Thank you, old Bridget. May I ask you just one question?
How could I refuse you anything now? I'll answer just as I answered Lady Ashbury when we met a few nights ago.
Who are you? Really?
I was born with the name Bridget Eleanor Wellington. In 1738, my beloved and immortal husband decided to preserve my beauty and youth forever by making me drink his blood.
You were Lord Redgrave's wife. Then the pompous fool rejected you, did he not?
It was about 200 years ago. Peace found me in time. And I sincerely hope it will find you too, now that all is over.
No, it's not over. I may have ended the vampire epidemic, but I still need answers from the woman I love.
I feared you would say that. Go then, young Ekon, and face your fate. Just remember that I'll always be here for you.
London has been cleansed. This
Блин, я
catastrophe
этого и
came about
боялась.
when an ancient malignant will crossed paths with mortal imprudence. For now, we are safe. For now. My craving for blood remains. Red like hate, red like hunger. read as life and death, passing from one immortal to another, from predator to victim, patiently biding its time to rise again. London has been cleansed for now, but there's a simmering hatred, fear, and old grudges. When will we succumb, mortals and immortals alike? The next disaster is only a matter of time. My only hope now is to catch the woman I love, to understand why she fled, and unmask the secret that has been lurking in her blood for so long.
Можно вернуться в Лондон? Ну, пожалуйста. Мне там надо еще спасти районы.
Well, this is it. Lady Ashbur's domain. Why am I not surprised it's not on any maps? I'd better hurry.
Давай вернемся назад. Ну, пожалуйста. Ой, блин. И здесь еще и сохранение произошло. Ё-моё. Я себе немного заспойлерила, как получить там концовки, да. В общем, там надо содержать районы в хорошем состоянии и идти по... Ну, не убивать никого, да, и... Ну, в общем, быть за леди Эшбери, а не за Аскелон, там что-то еще было. В общем, кажется, что у нас будет плохая концовка. Я надеюсь хотя бы на хорошую. Из-за того, что у нас с районами там беда, то, скорее всего, уже будет и плохая.
Beautiful morn, my child. It looks like dawn is here at long last.
Can't you just leave me alone? Your precious queen has been sent back to the bottomless pit from whence she came. The nightmare is almost over.
I am here to say goodbye. The sun's warmth exhausts me. Soon I will rejoin my queen in her endless sleep. It is over. You did well.
So our beloved mother will just go back to sleep, now that enough people have suffered. Is that it?
No, Jonathan. The Morrigan has been appeased because you dared confront her. You have prevailed, my bittersweet champion.
And what are you to her? Her counterpart? Her opponent in some timeless game?
She is my mother, my dreadful and sour-tempered mother. She is yours too, in a way, but you are not born from her terrible womb like me. You are but a distant child.
Сейчас, подождите немного, у меня здесь серия аккумулятора. Так, поменяла.
What does she seek? Revenge? Retribution?
She seeks nothing, since she only dreams of it. In the ancient tongue, when I was young, her name meant ghostly queen. Pray she never fully awakens, for her wrath knows no bounds.
Why did Harriet Jones become a disaster?
You are the doctor. You hold the knowledge needed to answer such a question. Have you the answer?
I noticed that all the Icors were female, as if a male couldn't endure the metamorphosis. Harriet was also a bitter and resentful woman, as was her daughter.
If the Morrigan prefers despoiled women to become the vessels of her wrath, we should be thankful that but one disaster hath been cast upon this wobbling world.
Icors seem to carry various diseases. They did not merely turn people into skulls. Their presence alone spreads death.
Who knows whether the Red Queen awakens when cursed mortals endure such epidemics, or if the contagions emerge like a curse as she awakes.
This is not over. I am here to find the true origin of the blood of hate.
'Tis unwise to interfere with a tale rooted so deeply in the suffering of others.
What will happen to Ascalon? Will you let them run the country from the shadows?
I don't interfere with petty political intrigues. Ascalon was built upon the lie of a lineage. Such a deceit cannot last forever.
But Lord Redgrave definitely possessed Marshall's blood. Untainted blood from the greatest vampire knight.
Really? I wonder how he managed to acquire it. Perhaps I should retrieve this artifact before going back to sleep.
What will become of the vampire hunters?
They will never stop searching for William Marshall, for he escaped their two great hunts. Remember that you too are now on their dark list.
What will become of the Brotherhood?
I foresee trouble for them now that your progeny considers becoming the new primate.
But I'm certain the current primate has no wish to resign.
Exactly. And I am not fully convinced your progeny truly understands what dreadful power he is about to defy.
No. I must know why Elizabeth fled here when I discovered she was the original healthy carrier.
No, she is not what you say she is. That is a secret you will discover soon enough.
And you? Why are you here? Which new thread of which old twisted plan are you seeking to pull now? Tell me the truth.
I am just here to salute my sons and to bid them fare thee well.
Your sons? Plural? My God, will you ever stop speaking in riddles?
Perhaps I am too old for your spoken language. Perhaps you now have so many subtle words you no longer hear the simplest ones.
Tell me about William Marshall. Why is his blood so strong?
He is not stronger than you, only older. You are strong, Jonathan Reed. A champion of your time, chosen to defeat a threat spawned of this generation.
Is he here? Is William Marshall here? Is that why you're here now, too?
Have I not already answered that question?
His blood was not tainted. The blood Lord Redgrave possessed. That which I used in the serum. But what if it had been?
Then you would have failed, I suppose. For the blood of hate would have corrupted you too.
When he fought me, Geoffrey McCullum used a serum made of King Arthur's blood. Since then, I have discovered that it was vampire blood. Whose blood was it?
You just said it. It was the blood of a king. The blood of the champion I chose to save this land in its time of greatest peril.
King Arthur was also your progeny. Why am I not surprised?
Yes, he was. But he failed in the end. and for centuries the land suffered his defeat.
Who are your sons? Why do you bid them farewell now?
You are my son, as is William Marshall.
This is madness. How many have you created? Who else? Shakespeare? Isaac Newton? Alfred the Great? Francis Drake? Thomas More? Guy Fawkes?
My progeny is scarce, for I rarely feel the urge to protect this land anymore. But yes, one of those you named is your immortal brother. Maybe you shall meet one night.
So that is all we are to you? Puppets you create to defeat some threat born from a dreaming devil?
No. You are my sons. I am proud of you. I mourn when you fail.
Speak clearly then, and answer my last question.
What is it?
Did I defeat the epidemic?
Now you've found the castle, Jonathan Reed. Only you can answer that. Farewell, my child. I shall dream about you soon.
Проходить я, кстати, буду только на одну концовку.
It's locked, all right. The castle walls look decrepit. Maybe I can find a way to sneak in.
На плохую, конечно, ну или на самую ужасную, легче легкого пройти. Всех убивать там, не обращая внимания на районы и все это. Ну и все равно перепроходить я уже не буду, это долго. И куда нам? Ну, я уже тогда допройду, это ж явно уже финал. Серия. Даже не знаю, насколько получится. Ну, наверное, на час с лишним.
I cannot enter. The lady of the manor isn't expecting visitors.
Мне кажется, или здесь что-нибудь должно все же находиться. Ну, какая-нибудь записка очередная. Правда, я не уверена, что я ее найду. Старое надгробье. Чего он туда телепортироваться не может, неизвестно. Вроде как остается только один проход. Вот здесь. И тут.
Maybe it's just my imagination, but I think I smell Elizabeth's perfume. She must be here somewhere.
Старое письмо.
It's locked, all right.
Старая картина. Копия письма.
Like most castles, this one has a crypt, and it holds something special inside. This castle is falling apart.
Ой. Мы
That
снова
sweet
куда-то
fragrance.
провалились.
Elizabeth's perfume. She was here, and recently.
Видимо, нам вон в ту дверь. Новая картина. Как-то та была, мне кажется, получше. Недавнее письмо. Это от Суонси было.
What are these symbols? I can feel a mechanism, but it doesn't work.
Какой-то еще механизм, какие-то еще загадки тут. Записки много. Записок, конечно. Недавнее деловое письмо. Старая картина.
This painting looks suspicious.
Какие картины? Их посмотреть нельзя. Старое деловое письмо. О. Так, это крыса. Это... Что это?
A sword and a moon are the symbols I should look for.
Ты предлагаешь в них найти сейчас, что ли? Где я тебе их могу найти? Тут вроде как ничего такого не было. Ну, по крайней мере, я ничего такого не видела. Здесь
What are
вот
these
единственный
symbols?
символ.
I can feel a mechanism, but it doesn't work.
И все. Пошлите, зайдем. Нам, видимо, вниз. Наверху у нас Или чего? Мы вернулись, ясно. Ну, пошлите вниз. Больше у нас нет никакого выбора. Конечно. А внизу дверь у нас не открывается. И где нам эти символы искать? Там что-то сверкает.
One last switch.
Так, луна. Их здесь вроде как вообще не было. Луна и меч. И мы тут на месте. Древний фолиант. Да уж. Это по типу дневника маршала, получается. О, короче, мы уже на месте, что ли? Так, ничего нет.
Drop your sword, father. You have nothing to be afraid of.
Shall we abandon this then? Shall we lower our heads?
No. Never. You taught me that.
Blood is approaching. Old but young. How strange. Shall I drink it? Smite it?
No, father. He is a friend. Please, rest. I'll take care of it.
Caution, Elizabeth. Deceit runs through these veins.
I know, father. What took you so long, Jonathan?
Is this really him?
Yes. This is William Marshall, 1st Earl of Pembroke, servant of 5 mortal kings, former regent and savior of England. The greatest knight who ever lived, according to some.
And you called him father?
For he gave me eternal life, and much more.
I have so many questions, Elizabeth.
You always had questions, Dr. Reed.
Now that I stand before you both, in this vault, I know not where to begin.
We still have a few minutes left.
Where are we? What is this place?
This is the Ashbury estate. I inherited the title when I purchased the castle.
Is this your retreat? Something of a secret place?
It's more of a sanctuary, really. This is where I take care of my father. Ever since he became unwell.
Are you not afraid someone might discover you here? It's not that hard to find.
Do not assume that I would hesitate to silence anyone who tried to reveal my secret. Fortunately, It has rarely come to that.
Why did you flee here?
When you told me I was the healthy carrier, I had nowhere else to go.
You mean you had to return to the real source of this scourge?
Yes, to end it, once and for all.
Will you go back to London?
No, Jonathan. I do not intend to.
And what of your daughter?
Charlotte is a strong, independent woman who's about to come into money. I took care of everything. Now it's time for her to shape her future.
I have destroyed the disaster, this creature that Harriet Jones had become. The epidemic is no more, and London will recover. In time.
Yes. You did well, Jonathan. You truly saved the city.
Yes, we did. Despite all obstacles. I'm truly convinced we did it together, Elizabeth.
I cannot bear knowing I was the cause of all this. Through the use of my own blood.
No. This catastrophe was the result of unethical experimentation. And the will of a creature so inexplicably evil, she exceeds all the terrible wonders I have seen since my death.
But it was my blood all along. My corrupted blood of hate. The poisoned blood of my father. A healthy carrier. That's all I am.
Why are you hiding William Marshall here?
How could I not take care of him? He sacrificed himself by giving me the only dose of antidote he had.
He gave you the antidote?
Yes. And in doing so, he knew he'd have to be confined here. And yet he volunteered. That's how great a man William Marshall was. And still is.
What do you do for him?
I visit him as often as possible. I paint the landscapes he will never see again. I feed him with my blood.
You feed him? You barely sustain yourself on the weak blood of the dying, yet you give him your blood?
After he saved me from the blood rage, I swore I would never kill to feed. He said the same.
Is he dangerous?
What do you think? He is a thirsty Ekon, who has not fed in centuries. An elder vampire, driven by an urge to kill and spread the blood of hate.
No redemption, then?
And yet he thinks he has been offered immortality by the angels to protect the feeble and to smite the unholy.
Can he communicate?
Yes. Sometimes he even seems like the noble knight who saved and raised me. But you know, the malice never fully leaves his eyes.
We could cure him.
It's too late. The blood of hate has run for too long. The antidote would not work on him. I tried. Believe me, I tried.
William Marshall infected you. He is the true, original carrier.
Yes. But he saved me by sacrificing himself.
Saved you? How?
The tears of angels. The cleansing of impure blood by an older, more powerful blood. It worked on me, did it not?
Yes. Blood is the definitive key to our species. Scowls, cleansing, lineage. Do you really think it worked?
It has, Jonathan. I was nothing but a beast who took pleasure in slaughter. I roamed across Europe, reaping my bloody crop. It was the blood of hate. But my father's antidote cured me.
Who are you, really?
How could I answer that? I went through many lives and identities to reach this day. To you, I am Elizabeth Ashbury, and that's all I wish to be.
I need to know more. I want to know who you really are. Where you were born. Where you lived.
I was born Elizabeth Samantha Mary Englewood in 1551 in Hertfordshire. My parents owned a pub in Hoddesdon. Are you satisfied?
How did you meet William Marshall?
He was an Econ for centuries when he found me. He saved me from certain death by making me his progeny.
Why did he choose you?
You should ask him that.
Did you ever blame him?
Not even when he was infected and bit me. He is my father. He raised me. He taught me how to behave.
Частично мы прочитали из записок, ну, из той, типа, дневника Маршала.
What about us?
What do you mean?
You know my feelings towards you, Elizabeth. But you left without a word. So I'm worried about your feelings towards me.
I love you, Jonathan. I've loved you since the moment I saw you rescue poor Mr. Hampton in that filthy slaughterhouse, forgetting the danger as you turned your back, like the newborn fool you were.
You should have told me.
No, Jonathan. The William Marshall myth lies at the heart of so many hostile plans. I could not risk jeopardizing his safety.
So why did you come here? You knew I would follow you. I can't let you go.
Because I know now the blood of hate is still in my veins. No one but I can put an end to this tragedy.
I can help you. You can trust me, Elizabeth.
I know, Jonathan. You have been the most loyal ally these last few weeks. But this is my duty.
Would your protege agree to speak with me? I have so many questions for him.
Go on, Jonathan. But be careful.
Yes?
Sir William. My God. You really are William Marshall. You served Richard the Lionheart and his brother, King John. It is such a privilege to meet you.
I did in my day. Come closer if you want to speak. For my hearing isn't what it used to be.
I think your hearing is fine, sir.
What is it you want then?
I found your research on the antidote. The tears of the angels. What ingredients did you use?
Once I understood what the ingredients were, I used the tears of King Richard and the pure blood of the valiant Boadicea.
King Richard and Boadicea? How did you find such relics?
It took me many years to locate their hiding place. Then I had to learn the formula. If I recall, it belonged to an ancient brotherhood. The Order of St. Paul, I believe.
And did it work?
Yes. The tears cleansed my poor Elizabeth's blackened heart. It was such a blessing to see her smile again.
I found and defeated the disaster that was threatening to smite London. You should know that the city is safe for now, Sir William.
Then may I call you brother? Did you resist its poison? Even a scratch from a beast so evil could endanger you and all those you care for.
You also defeated one in 1666. Who was it?
She was a malicious witch who spread plague throughout the city with her army of rats. She had been hiding in a bakery in Pudding Lane for months when I finally found her.
How did you defeat it?
We fought for hours. In the end, I had to lock her in St. Paul's Cathedral and burn the building down. I wanted to be sure she was destroyed.
The blood of hate. How does it affect you? Do you feel it now?
The blood of hate? Yes. Nothing more than a sneeze, really. A sneeze held for so long, you could blow a fortress down if you released it.
I would like to ask you about vampires.
Vampires? What about them?
Considering your experience, please tell me what you know.
They are terrible creatures. I have seen and fought many in my time. Foul temptresses with sharp claws and shrieking beaks.
I have never seen such a creature. What are you talking about?
Of course you've never seen a creature like them. Vampires are deadly, swift and implacable.
Where did you encounter such creatures?
The last time I saw one was in a Celtic temple near Salisbury. A terrible and god-forsaken place full of ghosts and pestilence.
Can we speak about the Morrigan?
The Red Queen? What of her?
You met her, did you not?
Just once, but she never ceased to sing to me. I love her song. It is a song of blood and war. I only wish she would sometimes let me rest.
Do you know who she is?
I don't want to discuss this in front of my sweet Elizabeth.
Why?
For a time, she too could hear the Red Song. The steps she danced to its melody brought pain upon the world.
Do you remember Myrddin, your maker?
Only God is my maker, for he created everything on this earth. He blessed me with eternal life through his archangel, Michael.
But Myrddin, Michael, is a vampire. He made you a blood-sucking creature of the night.
Blood, yes. I used to drink it from the throats of the unworthy. Then I was punished for my deceit. During my penance, I rely entirely upon my sweet Elizabeth.
Tell me about Elizabeth. How was she infected?
I do not wish to discuss it.
Please, Sir William. I need to know what the blood of hate is. How is it transmitted?
After defeating the disaster in St. Paul's Cathedral, I returned to my retreat, infected. This is where my sweet Elizabeth found me, for she heard my pain from across the sea.
Where is this retreat you mentioned?
In London, under Temple Church, beneath my empty tomb. I always loved to sleep there while listening to the bell above.
What happened then?
The blood of hate had twisted me into a rage-filled man. I attacked my progeny and infected her too. Forgive me, Elizabeth. I failed you.
You bit her again? Is that how she was infected with the disaster's blood? I think I understand now.
Elizabeth fled, and I fell to my knees, begging for forgiveness. I swore I would find a way to make things right.
How did you meet Elizabeth?
Times were tough. I had awakened to protect the land from a new plague. I heard her sing for her dead family. Singing for her death to come. I chose to save her.
When was that?
It was so long ago. A few years after Elizabeth of England and Catherine of France established their alliance against Spain.
What did you do?
I raised her as my progeny. After she left to see the world, I rebuilt her deceased parents' inn. Owned it as William Thorne for a time. Those were good years.
Did you really sacrifice yourself to save her?
That was the only righteous path. The blood of hate made me betray her. I am at peace here. I can think about what I've done and how I failed.
Do you not want to be cured?
No. This hunger is mine. I would feel empty without it. It has been part of me for so long. All I want is quiet. Silence.
You agreed to be confined here, then?
Yes. Once I was sure she was cured, I asked to be locked down here. I deserve it. The world needs it.
We could set you free. Let you out. Isn't that what you want?
I pray for the day I'll see the sky again. I have all but forgotten its colors. I could walk and do so many things beneath the stars. But I doubt it will be wise to release me.
Then will you stay here and repent?
Elizabeth told me it will not be long now. I cannot wait to feel the sweet caress of her hand on my cheek after so long as she releases me. Has the time come?
Yes, Father.
Why not unleash me then? To see the sky a final time?
You already are the sky, and all its stars.
I'm not defeated, for I welcome the sword you bear, for it is mine.
You were never defeated, my lord. Farewell, Father. And to you also, Jonathan.
What do you mean?
I can't stand what I've become. This healthy carrier, as you put it. The flames will purify the poison that runs in my veins.
No! I won't allow this to happen.
I am death, Jonathan. Wherever I go, I can't stand it.
I am Dr. Jonathan Reed, champion of Myrddin, chosen to save England from the vampire epidemic. I could cure you.
What do you mean?
We are creatures of blood, Elizabeth. Everything about us is in our blood. With time, I could perfect the antidote William Marshall gave you. Trust me, for time is on our side.
That is a risk I cannot take, Jonathan. I won't bring another such disaster into this world.
Elizabeth, no. Trust me. I can save you.
How could I trust you, Jonathan? How could I take such a chance?
I'll stay here with you then. As long as we must, until I find a cure.
You have no idea what you're talking about, Jonathan. Despite his madness, William was strong enough to starve for centuries. I doubt we can do the same.
That's where you're wrong, Elizabeth. Since I murdered my poor Mary after my rebirth, I vowed to never take a life again, and I've succeeded.
I'm not sure I have the strength of character. I'm not like William. I'm not like you.
Let me teach you then. Come with me, my love.
Oh, Jonathan, if only this could be true, but I really don't know.
We'll run away. Go to the deepest forests, the highest mountains. Untouched by man, we'll hide in solitude until I find a cure.
Do you trust me then?
Until the end of the world, my love.
Все же хорошая концовка получилась.
One prayer for the summoned, called by this song. Child born from darkness, whose path he must find. Now the song is sung and your path chosen. England is safe, for you have prevailed. I wish you a peace duly earned for the centuries yet to come. And they will come. I bid thee farewell, my champion bittersweet. My queen sleeps once again, and I'll soon join her slumber. Until alas she rises, woken by the hunger never fed.
Получается, то, что не обязательно, чтобы был уровень состояния, получается, на здоровом, максимальном вот этом вот всем. Если меня сами видели, да, там позаболели люди, и состояние района все так упали. Но, видимо, то, что не надо, чтобы было критично. То есть тяжело, еще более-менее. То есть это, видимо, минимально. На критичном критическом уже вряд ли получится. И, скорее всего, после этих субтитров ничего не будет. Да, пропустить их можно. Вот главное меню. Игра хорошая. К счастью, у меня все же получилось пройти на хорошую концовку. Я, когда смотрела, здесь всего 4 концовки. Мы прошли на хорошую. Там есть самое лучшее, но я там, получается, в самом начале, когда загипнотизировала Дороти, она стала скалем. А оказывается, надо было ее просто простить, и тогда бы, возможно, даже была бы лучшая концовка. Ну вот, конечно, было намного сложнее. Ну, нам, собственно, и говорили, что хотите пройти игру легко и быстро, выпивайте кровь у мирных жителей. Но вот когда ты идешь на хорошую концовку, лучшую, да, никого не убиваешь, ни у кого не пьешь кровь, тогда намного сложнее проходить. Баги все же здесь есть, как я говорила, хотя, возможно, я там кусок, там, где расследование с отцом Рида, Джонатана, там ящик должен был быть в больнице, у меня его почему-то не оказалось, баг произошел, и поэтому я не смогла пройти расследование, вот это вот. Баги здесь мало очень, ну вот только вот этот вот баг вроде как был, а еще с крысами, тоже там под конец, ну вот в последних сериях, когда я, наверное, даже говорила этот момент, то есть там крыс не было. Надо было убивать босса, а крыс нет. И вот у нас закончилась вторая игра. И вроде как в Anna's Quest осталось примерно на 2 серии. То есть, ну вот как раз то, что у меня вот 3 игры есть, как раз я их и начну проходить. Одна будет, ну, примерно по длительности, как и Vampyr, если не больше. Другие 2, ну, что-то наподобие вот Anna's Quest и того же хоррора. Ну, только чуть-чуть, наверное, подольше будет. Не знаю. Ну, где-то в районе по сериям Anna's Quest. Игра мне понравилась, в общем. Перепроходить, как я говорила, уже не буду. Ну, я, в общем-то, вам сказала, чтобы пройти на лучшую концовку, то есть не надо там... Дороти надо просто простить. И все. А нет, оказывается, мы прошли на лучшую концовку. Я там посмотрела, типа... Лучшая концовка это вот. Ну как мы прошли? Хорошая это когда там 2 убили, да, выпили кровь. Плохая, когда у 4. И ужасная, когда больше 4. И получается, мы прошли на лучшую концовку. И это хорошо. То есть не обязательно даже, чтобы Дороти не стала скалем. То есть она может стать скалем, и все равно мы получим лучшую концовку. На этом все. Ссылка на плейлист с группы ВК в описании. Всем пока.